Hey everybody, welcome to the channel. I'm Sheen, your host. This is Money Matters. In this channel, we talk about money, finance, how to grow your money, how to invest your money, how to make money work hard for you. Check out my other videos. If you like what I'm doing, please give a thumbs up. It really helps out the channel, pushes the YouTube algorithm, and spreads my video to other people. So please do give a thumbs up. It really helps out, and it's free. Come on. All right. Also, consider subscribing if you haven't yet already. You'll get updates about all my new videos. All right. Let's get started. Today, we're going to talk about this bull market. All of a sudden, we're in a bull market. It was just like 2 weeks ago. It was the end of the world. Last month, stocks were hitting their all-time lows. Just incredible, crashing down to the ground. But now, all of a sudden, it's a bull market, right? So we need to talk about this. We need to figure out what's going on. Can it be trustworthy? Can we really trust what's going on in the market? Is this a bull trap is basically what I'm trying to get at. Is this a trap for people that are thinking everything's fine, everything's back to normal, let's start investing, put our money to work, put our money in investing in good companies, and everything is all hunky-dory and everything's going to go sky high and you're going to make tons of money. Is that really what's going to happen? I don't think so. So let's break it down. Let's look at some charts. Let's just go over the market and what's going on, and I'll give you some thoughts about what's going on. I'll give you some opinions about what you should do and what I plan to do moving forward if this continues to happen in the next coming weeks and coming months. So I'm going to start off with this slide right here. It is just a perfect quote from Warren Buffett. We simply attempt to be fearful when others are greedy and be greedy when others are fearful. So that's exactly what is going on right now. Is I think a lot of greed is going on right now. So like just last month, there was tons of fear going on. The market was full of fear. Everyone was afraid, fleeing their stocks, selling everything they had. And so people were just absolutely going crazy, panicking, selling good companies at low prices, selling Disney for like $80, $82. Disney before this whole crisis was going for I think it was like 130 or 140. Don't quote me on that, but before this crisis, it was selling in the upper 100s. All of a sudden, it dropped to the lowest price, I believe was in the 80s or the low 90s. I was buying Disney at $90 or like $85. Today, I think it's trading for, I think, well over $100 right now. So, I mean, that's just absolutely insane. You're selling awesome companies that are going to recover for $80 when it was going for 110, 120. That's just absolutely insane. It's like, why would you get rid of, that's because somebody's selling that. Somebody is selling you their property. For me to buy it, somebody is selling their property. Like big companies with solid background, solid history, like, Coca-Cola, Johnson & Johnson, 3M, like all these companies that are strong, and they were just, everyone was getting rid of their stocks. Everyone was just selling them because everyone was just so fearful that the market was just going to crash and like these companies would go to zero or something. So that was the opposite of what's happening now. All of a sudden, people are saying, let's buy more stocks. Let's get in. All the stocks are going to make money. It's going to go back to normal, back to it was like in January of 2020. So that's what's going on right now. So let's take a look at the chart right here. So here's the S&P. As of this recording, it was at 2843. So look at this. This is a 1 month chart showing the S&P going from the bottom, March 23rd, 2020, which was less than a month ago. Hit bottom at 2,237. Now it is at 2,800. So here is the Dow. The Dow hit bottom on the same day, March 23rd, at 18,500, and now it is going up to nearly 24,000, and that is less than a month. And so my question is, what exactly happened from the bottom on March 23rd till today? Any good news come out? I mean, is there a vaccine that came out for this whole illness 19? Is the markets open? Is all your stores and all your shops, all your factories, are they back opening? And the answer is pretty much no. No, nothing is open. It's the same situation that it was last month as of this month. So why are all of a sudden people are saying, let's buy these stocks, let's cause the market to go up? Something's fishy. That is people being greedy, and that is when people like me are fearful, and that's when I stop buying stocks. Frankly, I haven't purchased any stocks at least in the last 2 weeks. That's like a whole different story. Back in March, I was like buying stocks every single day. I had to funnel more money into my account to purchase more stocks. So everything was so cheap and on sale. Check out my other videos. It was like almost every day I was posting a video saying, Everything is on sale. Everything is on sale. It's time to buy. Look at this company. Look at this company. These are 5 companies to look at. Everything is so cheap. It's the exact opposite now. Now I'm like, whoa, wait a minute. Why are all of a sudden these prices going up so high when there's no good news? The company is not reporting like excellent numbers. I mean, in fact, companies either have not reported numbers or are reporting negative numbers, and that's obvious. You know, people are not buying, they're not shopping. People are on lockdown. Your Q1 and Q2 numbers are going to be disastrous. So, what is causing these stocks to go up? And that's something that I don't trust. I don't trust it. I don't want any part of it. I'm not going to buy anything until either their numbers come out that support their prices going up, you know, their quarterly numbers come out, or the prices come back to where they should be. So here, look at the Dow Jones. So this is the performance of the Dow Jones. Look at this year to date, down only 16%. For a 3-month period, down 17%. So year to date, basically, you know, so 2020. We are in April of 2020 now, just 4 months, and the Dow Jones is only down negative 16%. Negative 16%. Keep in mind, the whole world is shut down. Like all major economies are shut down. Barely anybody is taking flights. You can't even really leave the country if you wanted to. You can't go to another country. They're probably not going to let you in. So it's like everything is shut down. No sports are going on. Nothing is going on. And yet the Dow is only down 16%. Look at this, S&P. S&P is only down year to date 12%. How about the NASDAQ? This is ridiculous. The NASDAQ is only down 5%. Only down 5%. The whole economy is shut down and the NASDAQ is only down 5%. So now, like I was saying, just last month, it was like ultimate fear. Everyone was panicking. Here's a shot of the fear index. So this is the VIX. So the VIX back in March 12th, it hit a high of 66 points. And you'll notice the next highest was during the financial crisis of 2008 to 2009. Hit at roughly about 60 to upper 50s. So, you know, that was the whole situation with banks basically going out of business, giving to people crazy loans, like loaning people money that they shouldn't loan. People are defaulting on their loans, not paying their loans, skyrocketing housing prices, everyone defaulting everywhere. So that was in 2007, 2008. And you know, that was just a U.S. situation. And it was only like certain parts of the economy, basically the banking sector, the financial sector, all the other sectors were relatively okay. And the fear index hit at roughly 60 points as it is right now. But compared to what's happening now it's like complete shutdown. Nearly every single company is affected. The whole world is affected. And you're telling me the fear index hitting exactly the same point in the low 60s, that the S&P and the NASDAQ and the Dow Jones is only down 5% and 12%. That makes zero sense. So here is a chart just as a reminder of what happened in 2007, 2008. So in 2007, it was October of 2007. That was the highest the Dow Jones was. It was at 14,164. That was the high point. Then the financial crisis happened. Basically, a lot of banks, everybody defaulted on their loans. Banks were not getting their money. Whole domino effect, and the Dow Jones dropped negative 54%. 54%. Keep in mind the Dow Jones is only down negative 12% this year so far, and the whole world is basically shut down, and it's only down 12% compared to 54% during the financial crisis of 07, 08. So the financial crisis didn't officially end until March of 2009, a whole roughly 18 months later from peak to trough. The trough being 6,469 points. So that's a negative 7,695 points. That's negative 54% on the Dow Jones for the last financial crisis back in 2007, 2008. So one of the reasons why the whole financial sector, the whole U.S. economy did not crash is because it's being propped up by the U.S. government. Trillions and trillions of dollars being pumped in, printing trillions and trillions of dollars, just flooding the market with liquidity. $1,200 per U.S. citizen, our green card holder, basically anyone paying taxes, is going to get $1,200 if you make a certain amount of money. I have videos on that. I'll link in the description below. So basically, a $2 trillion package is on its way, possibly another package to come. So a lot of businesses are also able to get some interest-free loans. So the federal government is propping up the U.S. economy, and they passed this stimulus package. I think it took them a total of, I think it was like 2 weeks, 14 days to get it completely passed. Compare that to what happened in 2007, 2008. I believe it took them at least a year to get some type of stimulus package agreed upon and passed. So definitely the U.S. government has moved a lot faster to support the economy. And it shows, right? Basically, the economy has not crashed. The stock market is going up, actually. So it is working. But my question is, how long is it going to work for? Because unemployment numbers are sky high. Thousands of people have lost their jobs. The GDP has gone down. Obviously, we're not producing like we used to produce. So all this money being pumped into the economy and stimulus checks being handed out to people, that's not free. That is going to come at a cost if we don't take care of it. If the U.S. government does not start paying off this debt, so that is going to be passed down, and somebody's going to have to pay the buck on that. So look, the federal debt to exceed GDP for the first time since World War II. Here is the national debt currently at $24 trillion. $24 trillion, that equates to $73,544 per U.S. citizen to pay for that national debt. Imagine if we had to all pay the national debt, you would have to take $73,000 from each U.S. citizen in order to pay that national debt. Here is the top 3 biggest economies. USA national debt, again, $24 trillion, and their GDP, our GDP is $21 trillion. So again, our national debt has now exceeded our GDP. Next biggest economy, China, national debt was $7 trillion. Their GDP is $13 trillion. Japan, national debt is roughly $12 trillion, and their GDP is $4 trillion. So the US GDP is expected to shrink by at least 6%. Japan dipping down to roughly 5%. It's the worst recession, predicted worst recession since the Great Depression. U.S. jobless claims soar for a third week straight. Nearly 17 million Americans have filed for new claims of benefits since mid-March as the CV virus continues to spread. So like I'm saying, there's no good news coming out. There's no reason why the stock market should be doing this well. That's absolutely really suspicious. The illness 19 situation is not getting better. I'm not sure if we actually hit a peak yet. The numbers are still rising. We are the absolute highest in any country of the world. Right now, as of this recording, based on the CDC, we have 579,000 cases and 22,252 deaths. Here it is on a graph, basically, over 500,000 cases. So, like I said, absolutely no good news. This whole situation that caused the stock market to crash has not gone away, has not gotten better yet. We probably are going to hit a peak soon, but we have not hit a peak. Definitely in the United States, definitely in certain cities, the numbers are still going up. In my city where I live in, the numbers are still going up. So that's definitely the whole reason why the whole stock market crashed. The reason is not gone away. It's still here. So I have no idea why people are all of a sudden so optimistic. I think it's a lot of big money, rich money, smart money. These hedge funds, these investors are trying to spread good news and get people back into the market, get money back into the market, and causing these stocks to go up. But I think in the long run, the next 6 to 12 months, we are going to hit a recession. When Q1 and Q2 numbers come out, people are going to really look at those numbers and be like, oh yeah, I guess that store over there used to do $100,000 in business. Now they're only doing like $80,000. So it's not like everyone's just gonna go out and start throwing their money and just buying everything. Like everyone is trying to hold back a little bit. You never know what's going to happen in 3 months and 6 months down the line. So I think the market is way too optimistic. I think this is what's called a bull trap. Basically, hedge funds, big money is kind of spreading this good news, spreading this optimism, putting some money into the market, causing these stocks to go up. And investors look at that and say, oh yeah, they stick their head out the window and be like, yeah, oh, everything looks good. Everything looks good. Look, the stocks are going up. The NASDAQ is going up. The Dow is going up. All these companies are going up in the stocks. But their numbers are not going to go up. Their Q1 numbers are not going to go up. Their earnings are not going to go up. They're definitely going to go down. And when those numbers come out, everyone's going to see those numbers, and all of a sudden, I believe the stock is going to go down again. And if you invested money at this higher price point, you're probably going to be in for a shock if the stock goes down, because you're gonna think, what happened? I thought I thought everything was good. Everything was good already, but I don't see it. I don't see it. I mean, I am very optimistic about the long term, the long run. I believe stocks will go up. Obviously, the record has shown throughout history, stocks always go up. The stock market always goes up. But in the short term, I don't see it going up in the next 6 months, in the next year. I don't see the market doing that well. So the beauty of what I do for my own portfolio, for my own investment purposes, like I said, I'm buying stocks when everyone is fleeing stocks, when everyone is fearful and all hell breaks loose and everyone sells their assets. They're selling good companies at record low prices. That's what I'm buying. That's what I was doing back in March, buying everything I can. That's the time that I buy. Now, people are being greedy and they're piling into these stocks, causing the stock prices to go up. That is when I am scared. That is when I'm fearful. That is when I am afraid that all of a sudden something's going to happen and that stock is going to crash. So that is when I'm not buying. That is my philosophy. That is, I believe, the way to go. So I am not buying anything unless I see huge value. But right now, I just don't see any value in a lot of these companies. So the way I do things, I think it's a win-win. When the market is down and everyone is selling, that is when I'm buying. That's when I'm happy to buy. I'm feeling that I'm getting things on sale. So that is when I'm buying. So that is good. When the market is down, I'm happy. I'm buying and buying. When the market is up like it is now, I'm happy also. I am just holding on to all the things that I purchased at lower prices and just watching them, sitting back and watching my account grow. So this is my public account that I share with you guys, and I am just watching this thing grow. So you'll see back in March, it was down in the 5,000 to 8,000 range. I funneled tons of money into that, and since March 16th to April 13th, you see it going up, and it's still going up. Right now, I believe I am over 16,000, almost 17,000 on this account. And so this is the time that I sit back and I watch these crazy numbers keep on going up. And so that's why being an investor like I am, the way I'm investing is you're always happy. You're happy when the stocks are low and cheap on sale because you're happy to buy. And when the stocks are expensive and going up, you're happy also because you're just sitting there and watching your money grow. That's the way you got to be. Don't buy stocks when everything is going up because eventually something's going to happen and the stocks are going to go down and you're going to lose a whole lot of money. That's my thoughts. So what should somebody do in the market like now? If you have invested, like I was telling everybody to last month, everything's on sale. If you did, good for you. Give yourself a pat on the back because you got a lot of good deals, a lot of great companies that you bought on sale. But if you haven't and you're just sitting on the sidelines, right now is not a time to get into any of these companies unless for some reason you find some super high value. If you find something that you just think is going to climb to extraordinary numbers, then that is your research and you should listen to what you have researched. So right now, what you should be doing if you're not already invested in the market or you have some money on the sidelines that you're waiting to invest, you should be making a watch list, and that's what I'm doing. Basically, going through some companies that you think are going to be successful, keep up with the companies, look at their numbers, their revenues, their sales, their net income, how much money is on their balance sheet, listening to their conference calls, kind of reading over their press releases, basically what they're doing for the future, how healthy they are. Make a list, make a watch list, and keep up with these companies and watch their stock price. See how their stock prices fluctuate. So that way, when the time comes, when you have a good amount of money set aside and you're ready to invest, you will know when these stocks go down in price. You'll know what is a good price because it's just like anything. Like if I said, this product is $700, that doesn't mean anything. Is $700 cheap? I don't know because I don't know what the regular price is, right? If you didn't know that the new iPhone sells for, I don't even know what it is, like $1,000, let's say. If you didn't know that that's the regular price, and somebody said, "Hey, I'll sell you this iPhone for $700," you wouldn't know $700 is a good price because you didn't know how much the regular price is. So you have to have something to compare it to, right? So that's the whole deal, is like you have to follow these companies and know if this company usually trades at, let's say, $200. It goes from 200 to 220 and fluctuates from, upper 200, the lower 200s to mid 200s. And all of a sudden something happens, something that the company didn't do themselves, something other than their company's own numbers, something happened that caused the stock to drop. So now it dropped to 180. Well, if you've been researching the company and you've been keeping up with the company, you would know that 180 is a deal for this company that normally trades at 220, lower 200s. So that's the whole idea. That's the whole idea of the watch list. That's the whole idea of researching these companies. So that's the game right now. Definitely is not a time to be buying overpriced companies. Definitely is not a time to be selling companies that you just purchased on sale, because there's a lot of growth to happen. So again, I will leave you with this. Simply attempt to be fearful when others are being greedy, and be greedy when others are fearful. And like I said, what's going on in the market is pure greed. Everyone is trying to make some money, putting money into the stock market now. And, once the stock goes up, I think these big hedge funds are going to pull their money back out after they made billions and billions of dollars, with, people piling in, causing the stocks to shoot back up again. Smart money, big corporations, big hedge funds are smart enough and wise enough to pull that money out before anybody knows what happened. And all of a sudden that stock is going to drop, and the retail investor, the small investor, the little guy is going to be left holding an empty bag, thinking that what the hell happened? This stock was $200 and all of a sudden it dropped to like $60. So that's my video, guys. Let me know if you agree. Leave a comment below. Do you think this is a bull trap? Do you think the economy is actually doing that well? To the stock market, the Dow Jones being down only 12%, the NASDAQ being only down 5% for the year after this whole crisis that we had. Do you think that is normal? Do you think that this whole issue is over and the stock market is just going to go back up now? Let me know. Leave a comment below. Consider subscribing if you haven't yet already. Give me a thumbs up, really helps our channel. And I'll catch you in the next one. Hope you enjoyed it, found some value in this video. Pass it along. Peace.